Gabriel Bortoleto surprised the entire Formula One world during qualifying for the Miami Grand Prix. In a weekend full of challenges, changing weather, and internal pressure within teams, the young Brazilian showed that he is rapidly evolving. In just his first season in F1, he not only outperformed his teammate Nico Hülkenberg, but also demonstrated emotional control, refined technique, and strategic intelligence. With each lap and each run out of the pits, it became increasingly clear that Bortoleto is not just participating in the season, he is learning, growing, and leaving his mark. Qualifying began with high expectations for many drivers, but for Bortoleto the goal was clear: deliver clean, consistent laps and secure a place in Q2. On his very first attempt in Q1, he posted a competitive time, placing 12th among the 16 cars that had already set fast laps. Although he was 3/10 behind Hülkenberg at that point, the lap was crucial to establish rhythm and confidence. But it was during his second hot lap that Gabriel truly showed his potential. From preparation to execution, everything was done with precision. He was faster than Hülkenberg and appeared among the first drivers to put together 2 solid laps in a row. This not only boosted his confidence, but also showed the team that he is increasingly in tune with the car and with the category. The ability to absorb feedback, correct earlier mistakes, and apply changes immediately is something even veteran drivers still struggle to master. The final push in Q1 was tough for everyone. Many drivers, including experienced names, struggled to improve their times. For Bortoleto, however, consistency prevailed. He was 0.27 seconds faster than Hülkenberg, who made a critical mistake in the final corner, the same spot where Bortoleto himself had made an error during sprint qualifying earlier in the weekend. This time, he showed that he had learned. He controlled the car well, kept the racing line clean, and went through the corner with confidence. This reinforces just how much he is growing technically and mentally. The result was impressive. For only the second time in his short Formula One career, Gabriel Bortoleto made it to Q2, qualifying 11th overall. That might seem like just a grid position, but for him and the Sauber team it means much more. It's a clear sign of progress. Technical progress because he is understanding the car's behavior better. Emotional progress because he stayed calm in a high-pressure session. And strategic progress because he knew exactly when to push. Earlier, during the sprint race, Bortoleto had started in 18th and finished in 15th. At first glance, it may seem insignificant, but it's important to remember that he finished ahead of other cars that completed the race. Even more, with Max Verstappen's penalty, the dynamics of the race changed completely. Even without perfect race pace, the Brazilian showed grit and took advantage of the few opportunities that arose. He had already stated that qualifying well would be key, as Miami is notoriously difficult for overtaking. The track is narrow, with a tight layout and limited runoff areas. It's the kind of circuit where a single mistake can cost you the whole session, or a perfect lap can change the entire weekend. Rain is expected for Sunday's main race, which adds another layer of complexity. In wet conditions, everything changes. Engine power becomes secondary. You need control, track awareness, and the courage to take risks at the right moments. In these scenarios, fast learners can shine. Bortoleto has already shown that he knows how to learn from his mistakes. If the rain does arrive, he might surprise everyone once again by using the chaos to climb up the field. If the team nails the strategy and he can stay consistent, there's a real chance of finishing in the top 10. It's not an easy task, but it's not impossible either. It would be a crucial result to solidify his confidence within Sauber and prove that he deserves that seat. Gabriel Bortoleto has been one of the most talked about rookies of the season, and it's not by chance. He doesn't waste small opportunities. Even while still adapting, he shows maturity by recognizing mistakes and treating every lap as a new chance to improve. His qualifying performance in Miami is proof that he's doing more than just reacting to the car. He's actively participating in his own development. Beating Hülkenberg, at least for now, is a powerful statement. It shows he understands how to compete at a high level. Now, the focus shifts to the race. The track is tricky, the grid is tight, and the rain could turn everything upside down. But if there's one driver who's proven he can handle the unexpected, it's Gabriel Bortoleto. On the other side of the paddock, Lewis Hamilton had a very different experience. The 7-time world champion entered qualifying with the goal of erasing the poor impression left by the sprint race. But what we saw was a series of uncharacteristic mistakes from such an experienced driver. Still in Q1, Hamilton locked up his tyres under braking in turn 17, a corner already known for its difficulty. That error compromised his first flying lap, and he had to use another set of soft tyres just to secure a spot in Q2. Even so, he made it through the first round. But the discomfort was obvious. The expectation was that, with Q2 secured, he would find rhythm and move on to the final session. But history repeated itself. In the same turn 17, Hamilton made the exact same mistake. He locked up the tyres again and threw away his best lap. That was the second time he made the same error in the same part of the track. A rare occurrence, especially for someone who has won races in the rain, under pressure, and at far more difficult circuits. Meanwhile, other drivers were improving their times and climbing the order. Hamilton tried to respond, but there was no more margin for recovery. When the clock hit 0, the result was confirmed, eliminated in Q2. A tough result for someone with 7 world titles. He would start 12th on the grid, a position far from ideal, and more than just the grid spot, what stood out was the performance gap between him and his teammate, Charles Leclerc. While the Monegasque driver remained confident and advanced through the sessions, Hamilton seemed lost. Internal comparisons began to weigh heavily. Leclerc appears more comfortable in the car, more confident under braking, and more consistent in fast laps. Hamilton still hasn't found his comfort zone with the Ferrari setup. The performance difference between the two drivers on the same team raises serious questions. Is the problem the car? Or is the British driver simply having a hard time adapting to a new environment? Leclerc is delivering results, and Hamilton, despite all his history, isn't able to keep up. This situation fuels a debate that's starting to gain traction. Was Ferrari's choice the right one? The team went all in on Hamilton, announcing Carlos Sainz's exit early in 2024, but so far, the return has fallen short of expectations. The pressure, which initially came from outside, is now coming from within. Time to react is running out. Qualifying in Miami made it clear that Hamilton is in unfamiliar territory. Once a pole position regular, now he's fighting just to survive. In Q2, Ferrari meanwhile faces its own dilemmas. The car isn't perfectly balanced, and the team is still searching for answers. But what stands out the most is Hamilton's body language, tense, heavy, unsure in his decisions. The repeated mistake in turn 17 is a symptom of that. Confidence is missing. Pressure is overflowing. Meanwhile, younger drivers like Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Oscar Piastri are showing personality and speed. Hamilton, in contrast, seems stuck in time. The season is far from over, but if the situation doesn't change soon,